The 1910 Victorian fireplace tile in the front parlor of my house has never been cleaned, and it's covered in soot, grime, dirt, and years of neglect. As you can see in the top left corner where it's shinier, I previously cleaned it as a test spot. Come along, let's see what happens after I do the whole thing. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Hello. Just wanted to go through the process I'm going to do to strip this. I have some painter's tape here. We're going to take the painter's tape and I'll tape off everything, and so that I don't have to put down drop cloths or anything like that, but we'll get that put down. I'm going to be using this stripper. I won't mention names, but you can see it. Anyway, it's fairly, it's toxic, but it doesn't smell horrible and it dissipates fairly quick. I have some denatured alcohol for cleanup, paper towels for cleanup, and then I just have a brush with a little tin foil thing I've made for the stripper. So I'm going to go through that process now. Okay, as you can see, we've gotten that step finished. All the plastic wrap is up on it. It's recommended that you leave it for at least 4 hours. Overnight would be better. I'm probably going to be impatient, leave it for 3 or 4 hours, then we'll come back and I'll strip off that. I'll take the plastic off of it. That's sealing it up right now to keep it so it doesn't evaporate and dry out. It's keeping the product wet so it can actually do its job and try to cut through all the grime and paint. As I noticed, they painted some things black. They painted like this black in the past, and they've got that all around it. So hopefully it'll get that off as well. If not, I may have to do a couple of touch-up spots. But otherwise, it's just a waiting game right now. So we will be back. I'll be back and take this off pretty soon, and we'll polish it all up, wipe it all down, and see what it looks like. While I was in here cleaning the fireplace mantle, I thought it might be important to give you a little bit of history about it, about the house. This house was built originally as a single story in 1878 when the train was coming to town, and the builder of this house had a store downtown. Anyway, they wanted to, I guess, remodel and make things bigger, so they jacked up the original house using mules. I don't know how they did it, but somehow it was elevated up higher. And this first floor was built in 1910. So this represents a much later time period, about 30 years or so difference between when it was first built and when it was remodeled. And I wanted to point out these mantles because this mantle was a purchased catalog mantle. It's one of the few things in the house that was bought. I guess the tiles that I'm cleaning right now, were also purchased, but most of the house was made here locally. The lumber was sourced locally. It was milled here locally. Local carpenters, local everything was handmade. And this represents something that was a sort of a large object, big purchase, and so it's very grand. I think it's tiger oak or tiger maple. I'm not sure which one. I have to strip it, and I haven't done anything. I've left it exactly the way it is right now. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this, and since we were working on the tile, and explain to you sort of the importance of this. This was the first room you got to when you came into the house, and so people needed to be impressed. The owners wanted to show off. It was the way things were done in the time period. So you put your best money where it could be seen, and this is one of the things that represents it right here is the fireplace. Is hand carving, even though it's a catalog thing produced in a factory somewhere. In 1910, they weren't robots or computers or anything like that, or machines that did it. So people were actually working by hand. So this was all handmade. Anyway, so that's a history of this mantle of the fireplace. you can see, the top part looks a lot better. The bottom part, even with the one coat and drying overnight, it was really dry and crumbly, even covering it with the saran wrap or plastic wrap. And so I put a second coat, the stripper on that, and it's going to have to go for another 4 or 5 hours, and I'll do it. I'm going to try to get it done today. We'll see. But you can tell that the top part is looking beautiful and looking clean so far. I'll strip the tape off of it. Once I get it all clean and I can get it all polished, I'll strip everything back and we'll take a look. Well, I think that turned out great. I've been hesitating to do this project actually for the past year and a half or longer, and then COVID came along and things have been kind of crazy this past year. My health was compromised, and quite honestly, I've been kind of like apprehensive to get it started and just haven't felt like doing it, and really procrastinated, not wanting to have to tackle it. But after I did, as you can tell, it actually turned out really beautiful, and so hopefully this project inspires you guys to maybe do something that you haven't wanted to do or you've been putting off. And anyway, just come back and visit me here at Jamie's house and see what I'm up to. I never know what's going to be going on, and it should be fun for everybody to kind of see what we're doing here. Thank you guys for visiting. See you soon.